hey, look, we have a solution now that will take away this routine monotone task so that we can free up that resource to do something else that's value added for the customer. We've seen more and more deployments in those types of environments in the past 2 to 3 years. Around commercial estate, malls, and office towers, those would be the first places that we started deploying robots. And with technology improving in the past 10 years, the biggest obstacles today is the change management. Just like with anything new, there's resistance to change. It's going to see a major increase in the future because
So today we have with us Elvis Theodhori. Elvis, it's a real pleasure to have you here. And could you introduce yourself and what you do?
Absolutely. So Elvis Theodhori, I'm Vice President of Sales and Service for Superior Solutions, which is a division of Imperial Date Canada.
Brilliant, thank you. And could you share with us, based on your expertise, are cleaning robots already a sales driver or still a topic for the future?
If you were to ask me that question 8, 9 years ago, it was definitely a topic for the future. However, I would say in the past 3 to 4 years, it's definitely more of a sales driver. Anything to do with commercial real estate, any facilities that have large square footage, that it would make sense for a robot to be deployed from an ROI perspective. We've seen more and more deployments in those types of environments in the past 2 to 3 years. So definitely more of a sales drivers nowadays.
Great. And when did Superior Solutions at Imperial Date start exploring robotics?
So Superior Solutions, we started exploring robotics, I would say probably back in 2016. At the time, we started with very basic robots at the time that had far less capability of the robots that we have today in the field. So the answer would be roughly about 10 years ago. Around commercial estate, malls, and office towers, those would be the first places that we started deploying robots and robot scrubbers and in different applications. And as it stands today, the scope has widened in terms of where we can put more robots because of the fact that technology has also improved greatly from what it was 8, 9 years ago, and also pricing has become more reasonable for the technology.
Absolutely. And you've just touched upon some industries, but can I drill into this question a little bit further? So into this topic, sorry, which customer groups or sectors have the highest robotics sales, would you say? And in which industries has robotics already been fully adopted, if any?
Yeah, so I would say, so commercial real estate, anywhere from office towers to shopping malls, I would say that would be at the top of the list in terms of where robots are deployed. Robots for different applications, hard surface robots such as scrubbers and soft surface robots such as vacuums. So it would be primarily commercial real estate, office and malls. That would be at the top of the list. In the previous years, we've also had several deployments in airports, and also on the industrial side, manufacturing facilities with large square footage of hard surface, which we can deploy robots easily to work at night where there's less traffic. So I would say those would be the main areas where the robotic solutions are deployed today.
Brilliant. And could you share what obstacles or challenges have you identified in the automation of cleaning?
The biggest obstacles are, so again, 10 years ago, the biggest obstacles were the technology because the technology was not there. So 10 years ago, the biggest obstacle was getting the equipment to work or to do the things it was supposed to do on paper. With technology improving in the past 10 years, the biggest obstacles today is the change management piece. So where you have a site where you've had employees and workers running machines manually for 10 plus years, getting them to buy into the idea that, hey, look, we have a solution now that will take away this routine, monotone task so that we can free up that resource to do something else that's value added for the customer. You need buy-in from the operators in the field, because just like with anything new, there's resistance to change. So definitely the obstacle is the change management piece, making sure that the people understand why we're doing what we're doing. And then once they understand that, the other obstacle is, I wouldn't call it an obstacle, it's more of a challenge that requires work, is actually executing it. So talking about the scope of work for a robotic solution and getting people to buy into it, that's one thing. Executing that change is a whole different thing, which is you need to make sure that once you execute, you have data and metrics in place to make sure and confirm that the robot is being used the right way. Because if it's not being used the right way, then it defeats the purpose of putting a robot there in the first place, because there's an ROI for the robot, which 70 to 80% of the time it should be working. And if a robot is being underutilized, if it's supposed to be running 4 hours a day, which is at 100% capacity, and if it's being run 2 hours a day, which is half capacity, it just defeats the whole ROI, and it just doubles the ROI for the machines. So definitely change management would be the biggest hurdle.
That's very insightful. Thank you for such a comprehensive answer. And what is your assessment of future developments in the robotics market?
I would say that as it stands today, from what I've seen in Canada and the US, the majority of the robotic solutions that are deployed in the field are for hard surfaces. So it would be primarily robotic scrubbers that are dealing with hard surfaces. And on the soft surfaces side, which is the robotic vacuums, I see that as the area where it's going to see a major increase in the future, because there hasn't been done much on the soft surface side of the business. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for robot vacuums and soft surface robotic solutions in the future. So I think that's going to be huge going forward.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your insight, Elvis. Pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.